Right. Welcome, welcome everyone to day 2 of the online healing art retreat. Hi, Barbie. I see you. Beautiful faces. See Karen, Dawn. Hello. And Lenny. Hi. And Sue. Awesome. And Elizabeth. Beautiful. We have some people joining us, and I'm just going to give them a minute to jump on here. So for those of you who are coming in, if you could kindly just mute yourself, that would be fabulous. And we will get started. All right. So, wow. So day 1 was a lot of fun. It was so beautiful to see you stepping into your heart's desire. I loved looking at the artwork, and I just want to say congratulations for showing up and doing it, because I think that's part of giving this self your space, giving yourself permission to dream. That's what makes it so powerful for you, right? So I have a question for you, so we can just think about it. How did it feel to be seen yesterday, like posting your artwork? How did that feel for you? What was that like? So if you want to post it in the chat, that would be cool. I'd love to see what it felt like for you to share your art. Did it feel vulnerable? Did it feel refreshing because you got an opportunity to check in with yourself and to share it with others? I know that sometimes it can be a little scary of just telling others about it, especially people that you might not know very well. Even the closest people to you, it could be a little scary, right? Because you might get rejected, or they might not like your idea. And a part of standing in your power, saying, this is what I really want, this is what my heart desires, is learning how to, not take on other people's stuff, right? Because people are going to come to you with their issues and project their things onto you, but it's not about them. This is really about you. So it's stepping into your power, into your truth, into your vision, right? So let's see what people had said. They said they felt vulnerable. Fun and seen, was a bit sad when it ended, very much like the art connection of everyone showing up to create and be. A little scary. I'm so happy you're enjoying the group, Loretta. Definitely refreshing. The feedback and support was nice to hear. I was so happy to make time to draw. Finally, that was the big hurdle. Grateful for a chance to share. Okay, awesome. And then Rachel Marie says, it's been so long since I've created, so excited to share again. Beautiful. Yeah, so it's part of getting back into that creative flow if you haven't been creating. All right. So yesterday was about that big dream. Day 2 is all about transforming the blocks that stop you from showing up as your best self. So we did have that question come up yesterday, like, how do I get, to that other side? So we are going to be conscious creators and start looking at those blocks that stop us from showing up. Okay, so that's one of the things that we're going to be doing today. I love doing prizes, so I'm going to tell you who the winner is for the Creative Soul Society membership, which I'm so excited. We're meeting on Sunday again to create art. And I'm going to tell you what the prize is for today. Okay, Karen Dawn said, everyone was very supportive, but telling people your dreams is overwhelming because you are announcing what you want to do, not sure if you can do it. Okay. Karen Dawn, it's all about believing in yourself. It's that solar plexus. Okay. It's like standing in your power and trusting that whatever happens is going to be okay. Okay, it's because there's always going to be fear involved. We all have fear. We all have limiting beliefs. We all experience that. And a part of saying that you're going to do it, you have to trust yourself enough to say, no matter whatever the outcome is, whether it comes out perfect the way you had envisioned it, or if it comes out even better, or maybe not as you had wanted it, then you got to be okay with it. And the fact to congratulate yourself that you stepped up and did it. Right? Because it is a process. And the part of perfectionism sounds like it could be your block. I don't know, it could be, but a lot of times that's what's going to stop us. It's our ego wanting to be perfect, our ego wanting us to be small. Okay. So we're going to talk about that, but yes, when you start announcing it, you are calling it in. right? And when you start calling it in, the universe is going to give you signs, opportunities are going to show up for you. It's about you saying yes. Okay. Saying yes to it. Nora says, but what if you fly? Yes, most definitely you could fly. It could be even better than you envisioned, right? That's what tomorrow's going to be about, is about like, you're going to have a ripple effect. When you step into that desire, you step into that dream, it's going to affect others, okay, in a positive way, because you are affecting yourself in a positive way. So that's how we're looking at it. So be scared. It's okay to do it. It's learning how to be okay and still be scared at the same time. Okay. Okay. So I was just talking about the prize today. I'm going to be giving away, the prize for today is my digital book. I'll share a screen with you. I'm going to give away several of those, just because it's so much easier than actually like sending copies of the physical book. But I do want you guys to experience it. It's the Art of Healing and Manifesting. I'm going to be giving away that as the prize. We're going to be doing exercise from the book again today. So I'm excited to talk about that. And yesterday's prize was a full year membership of the Creative Soul Society. And I'm going to show you a picture of who I picked. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me put it up here. Okay, and then I'm going to share my screen. Let's see, share screen. Here we go. And this is the person who said they were going to use crayons and they were coloring with their son. This is Carly Dawson. Just want to say congratulations. Or Dassau, I think I might have said that wrong. I just want to say congratulations. Oh, Carly, a toddler down for a nap. Thank goodness it's only a few minutes late. Okay, that's Carly Flowers. We have Carly Dawson, or Dassau. She drew this image and I thought it was really cool. But what I was most interested in, because she resonated with my story of being overwhelmed and kind of like not doing the self-care, and she has children and she's feeling that way of like not nurturing herself. So I think the Creative Soul Society would be a really great opportunity for her to just kind of like carve out that time for herself. But what I really liked about this was, you see this dragon on the right-hand side? I was like, what is this dragon? I don't know. Is Carly here? Maybe she wants to tell us about the dragon. I don't know if Carly's here or not, but. Oh, did you change your name? Okay, you're Carly Flowers. Okay, Carly, you want to unmute yourself? Can you hear me, Carly?
Hi.
Hi, I can't see you. I just see your picture, but I loved your picture and I love that you took time with your son to draw this. I just want to say congratulations. You won the membership. I wanted you to tell us about this dragon. It's so cool. I'm so curious about that.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Welcome.
Actually, I drew the dragon because it just like popped into my mind. I don't know. I used to this maybe it's a little crazy, but when I was a kid, I was obsessed with dragons and I drew them all the time. And ever since I was a little girl, I've really just loved everything about dragons. I had so many books about dragons. And as I got older, my parents split up and my dad, I have some personal issues with him, but something I used to do, the one good thing about him was that he was very artistically encouraging. And I would draw dragons all over my bedroom walls at his house. And they've always been like a huge art inspiration for me. And I just was like, yeah, that sounds fun. I'm going to draw a dragon on this picture. And the more I thought about it, the more everything that like I want to be now as a person, dragons, I feel like totally represent that. Like they're independent, they're strong, they do whatever they want, they get the things that they want. They're not afraid to say no to people and fight for themselves. And that was like yeah, I'm going to be like a dragon for me and family.
I love the symbolism there. Thank you so much for sharing
Thank you.
that story. Because I mean, I relate to that as well, because part of my story from yesterday about being burned out and saying yes to everyone, I had to learn that I had to put boundaries down and I had to stop saying yes to everybody, because what happens was it's like you become this overgiver, like this bleeding heart. And then there's like this resentment. So I've been there and I know what it's like. So it's learning how to step into your power, right? To have that dragon energy, that solar plexus chakra. So I hear you and I feel you. And so that when we're looking at our blocks, right? When we're when we're going to be looking at that, we have to see what it is for each one of us. It's going to be different. We all have different excuses or different habits. So a part of learning about my habit. So it takes a long time. I'm not saying it's going to happen right away, but consciousness, this is about consciousness, bringing that awareness today to transform the block, was like, for what I realized was that I will have to say no to people, right? And it's going to piss people off, and it did, and that's okay. But I started realizing more about my dream and and how I wanted to feed it and how I wanted to show up for it. And then people started respecting me for that. Like my kids, like if I put a little sign on my door, they know it's my time in my studio, you know, and then my husband respects that time with me, and I do the same thing for him. So it's more of like the universe starts to support you with it when you learn what your block is, or like what you need to work on. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So I want you to start thinking about, and we can start putting in the chat of like, kind of, what do you think might be your block? Because you might have more than one. Okay. Let me put a stop here. Stop share. Okay. So sometimes I'm going to just throw a few things out there of like what people might say. They might say, well, this is what I've heard from my clients, is that, you know, they don't have enough time. They don't have enough space. As someone had mentioned that in our group, that maybe it's lack of planning, not putting it as a priority. Someone mentioned that yesterday. Not feeling worthy enough. It could be perfectionism, no accountability. Money comes up a lot. A lot of people feel that they don't have money to make their dream happen. Well, the thing is, it's all of those things, or even like the fear of being seen, right? All of those things, it's all about that relationship. So it's the relationship, one, with yourself, right? But also your relationship with your money, if it has to be money, or your relationship with time, right? Or your relationship with other people, those boundaries, like I had mentioned just a minute ago. So when you have a block, you're actually going to, you're going to feel it in your body. Everything is interconnected. So as we create today, we're going to actually create another avatar, and I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to get my book out in just a second and read it to you. Is that, we're going to probably feel that constriction in our body somewhere. Okay. So like in the solar plexus, you might feel nauseous, might have gas. If it's in your throat, about expressing yourself, communication, you might feel kind of quivery, like speaking up for yourself. So think about that in your avatar, because we are going to be drawing out your block of what you think it is. We're going to do some writing first. So I had mentioned this yesterday, thinking about how, when you have a desire, you want to nurture your soul and nurture this calling. You got to think about what those limitations are, and it's totally normal for you to have them. We all have them, but the part of this process, the part of the healing process, is really looking at them, not judging them or judging yourself, but just saying, oh, this is the learning lesson, right? It's an opportunity. It's a challenge, but it's also an opportunity for growth. Because when you start doing the work, when you start showing up for yourself, that's when that transformation happens. So I'm going to just read some of the comments. Barbie says judgment from others. I have some voices from the past, people who have ripped me at sort of playing in my mind when I reach for some of my things I want or believe in. Okay. Yeah. So being able to not care about what others think. I hear you. I put myself out there and I've been judged, and that's okay. Because I know that like my intention and that what I want is going to have a bigger ripple effect, right, than the people that are judging me, right? Thinking of others first. Okay. Someone else writes, mini balls to keep up in the air, and the art is one to pick. Give time to it. Okay. Motivation, says Rachel. Jenny says the message that my kids should come first at all times, and I'm not a good mom. Okay. So yeah, that self-talk, making the new story of you have to put yourself first because you have to come from a full cup, right? So part of taking care of yourself and that self-care will have that ripple effect on your kids because you can show up fully for them, not begrudgingly and tired and, you know, not giving 100%. Okay. So what we're going to do is a part of my book, there's interviews in here. And so, you know, yesterday we were talking about that crown chakra and co-creating with the universe. So part of your desires, each one are very unique. We all have unique desires. For example, even if we wanted to do art workshops or put ourselves out in there, each one of our workshops are going to be different because you have your own spin, your own taste, your own experiences, right? So each one of our desires are really different. But there's going to be a common thread, but they're different and they're unique for you. So that co-creation is there. And then today it's we're looking at the blocks, and then we're going to the third eye chakra. So the third eye chakra is about using your imagination, which we did yesterday as well, thinking about what we want. But the limiting part is that this is where the conflict in the third eye chakra is that our mind wants to only think of what we see for right now, right? Like what's right in front of us. And I think that's the reality. But the universe is expansive, can see so much more for us. So it's about trusting our intuition, trusting the steps, even though we don't know, you know, what's on the other side. But if we get the signs, trusting the signs, right, to go bigger or to go towards our desire. So that's part of the process with that third eye chakra. Okay, so for those of you who have the book, we are going to the ideal self. Oh, we already did the ideal self, yes, avatar. My bad. Going to the next one, going to that third eye chakra called Uncovering Your Block. And I'm just going to read to you what it says in here because it goes along with what we're going to be doing. It says, it is natural to feel fear or notice a voice of doubt come up related to our desires. Usually it's our ego trying to protect us. Becoming aware of it, really feeling it, and exploring its purpose for being there will release it. For example, many of my clients want to sell more art and offer workshops, yet they have a fear about pricing their work or not being understood by people. A fear of judgment stops them from showing up in their soul's desire. This is an opportunity to look at what's stopping you in order to have a relationship with your ego. As a little voice comes to your head, identify it and say, I know who you are, to your ego. This little voice comes up for me, like when I launch a new series or put something new out there. And then I have a conversation with it and it says, and then I will say, because the little voice will tell me no one will care about your work. And then I respond, it's okay, because I know my work is important in this world and I choose to share it without attachment to the response, right? So the way that you speak to your ego, the way you speak to yourself is really powerful. So use the avatar as a way to separate yourself from your actual fear. You can speak to the avatar using your self-reflection questions. So the ego, remember, your ego was created by like your past. Your ego was created like from your parents and how you grew up, right? That's like the little voice in your head. That's where it was like first formed. So we have to be aware of it so that we can reflect on it. So what we're going to do now is I want you to start thinking of what's stopping you or what you think is stopping you from manifesting your desire. So you can name 3 things. Like I say, it might be more than one, right? The time, the money, the whatever you think it is. And then I want you to write them down in your journal or on your art piece right now. Oh, it says, can you give page numbers for yesterday and today in your book? Yes. Today we are on page 36. And then yesterday we were on page 15. Oh, thank you, Jane. Okay. So you have your 3 desires. Now I want you to write up the story of why you think you can't have what you want. What is it? What is it that you feel that is stopping you from having it. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few minutes just to write yourself that story that you might be saying in your head. Like I said, we've all had it before. That fear, putting yourself out there for those of you who want that solo show or the lover or the that business, more clients. What do you feel like is stopping you? Go ahead and write that story.
Leah, what were the 3 things that we were writing down?
Oh, identify 3 things that you think are stopping you from manifesting your desire. So it could be time, that you're not good enough. It could be fear, could be perfectionism, you know, could be a few different things. Remember, everything's interrelated, right? And we have to start to address it. Thank you, Mickey. She said, nothing unique in me, or why try? Thank you for being honest. Because you gotta be honest with yourself first, right? Of really looking at the dark side, the shadow self, could be another name for it. Fear of being ridiculed or judged. Focus, structure, time management, money. Okay. So what is the story that you have around those things? So go ahead and read that. So for those of you who write a little faster, I'm going to go ahead and tell you the next direction, because you can keep adding to your story, because you want to know the story that you're telling yourself, because we might need to do a new story. Oh, Rachel Marie says, perfectionism and sharing before my expectation of completion, finishing and knowing on the other side is completion. So what comes next? And financial stability and abundance, the way that bumps along the way. Yeah, a lot of times we just talk ourselves out of things, right? We think it's got to be perfect before we even like show up for ourselves. Sometimes we even think it's money, right? And it could be that we need a better relationship with it. Okay, so what you're going to do now is I want you to think of a color that's going to represent this block. And I said there's 3 things, but you know, use different colors for the things that you thought it was. And what you're going to do is you're going to create an avatar, another avatar of what that block or limiting belief is. So you're like, how do I do that? Well, this could be either like a figure, it could be a monster. We want to look, or it could be something symbolic for you, right? So like we saw with the last one, her avatar ended up being a dragon, right? She didn't even know that was going to come out, but it just playfully came out. Allow yourself to see, you know, what this block looks like for you. You know, use different colors, and just allow, it could be a human figure, like I say, it could turn into whatever you'd like it to be, and put it in an environment as well, of what that block looks like, those limiting beliefs. And so, and just complete a whole image around that. So I'm going to give you like 10-15 minutes, and then we'll do some share time. But I do love that you are putting the information here, that I can see you, what you think it is, so that we can explore it. Because like I said, the only way we can make these steps for the transformation is being conscious of them, being aware of them, because you're going to see how much they take up space in your mind, right? And a lot of times we just need to create new stories to what we tell ourselves. Okay, does everyone understand the directions? If not, I can say it again, or you can ask me. Okay. Yes, Karen asked me to repeat it. Okay, so once you have written down what you think your blocks are, right? It's going to be unique for everybody, but we all have them. Then you're going to choose a color, choose some colors to represent that, and then draw an avatar. Draw a figure, could be a monster, could be whatever it is that represents these blocks or these limiting beliefs. Okay, we want to see a visual. We want to see an extension of yourself. Okay, not of you. It's not necessarily you, but it's something that's in our mind that's stopping us, right? So just being able to see it out here. So if you are clear, and we can just go ahead and start. Okay, so Laura, she says she feels stuck. Draw the stuckness, right? What does stuck look like for you? Like, are you like stuck in concrete and sand and like quicksand, or maybe it's just like a mess, like a chaotic mess, and you feel like you're like in a storm, like a blizzard. Make a visual of that stuckness, right? That's what I'm asking you. Like, get it out of your head and put it outside of yourself. Like, why are you stuck? What is the story that you're telling yourself? Why do you think you feel stuck? Lisa says commitment issues. Nora says bigger space costs a lot of money that I don't have now. If the studio isn't at my home, I will not spend enough time with my family. Too little time to spend creating freely. I hear you, Nora. I used to rent a studio myself, and my kids used to love to go with me, and then they stopped wanting to go with me. They were like, this isn't fun anymore. So I did have to move my studio home. So I hear you have to get creative of, where to put your studio, but then I get to spend more time with my family. So that's, when you make decisions, right? It's like, how does it affect everyone, right? Making those decisions. Kim says, my blocks are around trust, fear of loss, and authentic connections. Significant people in my life have been dishonest, robbing me of my free will to make decisions based on facts and their choices. I fear loss of those I love, a lot of death and ending of relationships. I am always looking for the authentic connections, and as I get older, I'm having a harder time finding them. Okay. Okay, so looking at what that looks like with the trust and even the loss, because there might be some grief there that needs to be processed, right? So like I had mentioned, it's not like a quick fix, but it's just more of looking at where you're at, and that's where the healing will probably have to happen. And then Joanne feels the same with Kim. So I said, you're not the only one out there. We always have similar blocks. Mickey says, I always have to put my stuff away, then forget where to start again. And Jan says, space, fear, and unworthiness. Karen Don says, my blocks were on needing to have appreciation from others. And if silence, then I quit and have a little momentum to continue. Okay. All right. So it's about appreciating yourself. And not having expectations from other people. So Amy says, for me, it's releasing external validation. If I don't get a response, I feel like what I create isn't good enough. And I struggle with its egotistical to want to succeed. Which says, my drawing is simply question marks. Why is my art important? How much is it worth? And will other people like it? And don't people have enough to deal with? Okay. So Deborah, telling yourself a new story around that would be really, really powerful. Of asking, that's a great question. Why is your art important? What feeling does it evoke? How will people benefit from it, right? And so you have to know that for yourself, so that when you put yourself out there, you can tell people, oh my goodness, my art is so beautiful that it's going to feel uplifting when you walk into a room, right? But you got to do it for yourself first. You can't expect other people to do that for you. So you have to question yourself, review your art. What is important about it? Because it is important. You just creating it is important. Will other people like it? Will the right people, that's the part where you have to realize as well, Deborah, is that the right people will like it. And that's where you have to trust that it's like, you got to find your people. Who are your people? And you don't know until you put it out there, because not everyone's going to like your art, and that's okay. It's not meant to, your art isn't meant for everyone. It's for the right people. Susan says, fear of failure, time, always feeling guilty to take time for myself. Yeah, we gotta let that go. Definitely need time for yourself. Tatum says, my blocks around self-trust and creating more identity around who I currently am and want to be, instead of identifying with my past self and traumatized, disempowered state. I want to manifest love through the vessel of a love relationship. I feel too insecure at times just to receive and put myself out there. It's so important, that self-love. Sue said validation is a great one. The first part is validating yourself, knowing that you're worthy. Affirmations are incredibly powerful. When I used to have that story in my mind that, like, why am I creating this? Who cares that I even create this? That was like my ego trying to keep me small. And that's where I created an affirmation of that my work is powerful. My work is important because I'm doing this for me, for my own joy, which is going to have a ripple effect into the world, right? That's why it's important. So I had to put that, I even put it in my phone as a reminder, so that every day I would reprogram my subconscious mind to believe my art is important, it's healing, and it's, it's powerful in the world. And I do believe it now. So, and I still see it every day. And it's not like, but first I didn't really believe it, but now I do. So it's reprogram that subconscious. Hope you guys don't mind. I just keep reading these because you can keep writing, which I loved. I love knowing what you guys are thinking. I have a lot of messages. Joanne says, demands of family, men in my life since I was little, taking my time, money, decisions, belongings, even my identity, sense of self. It's okay. It's rediscovering who you are. Luna says, I feel like it. The work I do in my offerings has to be hard. I want it to be fun, but still feeling a small block that makes it feel hard. You have to work hard to be succeed. Oh, right there. New story for yourself. And my work is easy, that it's fun. It has flow, right? Susan says, the joy is in the creating of art, just for me, and I don't care if others like it. Beautiful. He says fear of success and not being able to maintain it. I also think that I am too comfortable and don't have enough drive. Okay, so we had discussed that a little bit yesterday, about, when you step into your desire, it's going to be uncomfortable and you have to stretch yourself, right? That's why it's there for you to stretch. Right. Ooh, you guys had a lot to say. I love it. I think it might be a good time. I want you to go ahead. I know that you're still working and you can still working on this after we meet, but I do want you to give this a name. So don't forget to give this avatar a name, even name the one from yesterday too. Give them both names. And let's have a few people. Let's see here. We said something we may not even consider as helping, and that courage to share, to be ourselves, no matter what others think, might be serving to transform perspectives for the very people that judged us. Not that I think we should do it for that reason, but yeah, what if doing us illuminates the ones judging, if that makes sense? Yeah, I think it totally makes sense, right? Because everyone is going to project themselves. They're going to project that onto other people. So usually when people are judging, it's because they need healing within themselves, right? So if you get triggered by someone, you need to check yourself first. Be like, why are they, why am I being triggered by this person? Right? Why am I judging this person? I mean, you could be jealous, it could be, they have what you want, or it could be something within yourself that you got to work on. All right. Is anyone at a point where they feel like they're ready to share, just because we only have so much time and it's fun to share? Oh, Lisa wants to share. Okay, where are you at, Lisa? You want to unmute yourself and I can find you?
Hey, Leah, I'm here.
Here.
Yeah.
You are.
So this is me. Oh, can you see me?
Yeah. I can see you.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Okay. So there's me.
Mhm.
And like, it's just all like the juggling. So I'm like juggling it all, my 6 kids, hubby, pets, household, all this. And so, because I was thinking we read a list, but it all kind of cycles together. I feel it's all like connected, like you were saying, all a relationship. So I have time management issues, focus and structure issues, and then commitment issues like the fear and doubt of success, which goes into the worthiness issues, and then money, like investing in what I want and desire, like a priority. I'll go set it aside. All my kids are running in. Shut the door, Cora, shut the door. Okay. Sorry, but you see, so just juggling that all, I feel, is kind of, yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay. I see you. I hear you. Yeah. So a lot of those, when you said structure, time management, all those things, yeah, that's that root chakra, right? So it's really, really getting grounded. And it's related to family. It's related to money, right? The root chakra is about those things. So it's creating a structure that works for you, right? You have to take it as an experiment and say, okay, what works in my life and what's going to feel good for me for my time to create, right? It could be in the morning. I mean, I wake up really early in the morning before anyone in my household, just so I could have time to meditate and journal and do what I need to do. I wake up at 5 a.m. just so that I can do that. But that might not work for you. But you got to figure out like, okay, I want to flow. What does that flow look like for me? And it might even be creating that sign. I'm telling you, I put a sign on my door. I have a sign on my door right now. Because you have to have some boundaries. You have a lot more kids than me, but being able to say, this is mommy time. This is so that I can have that self-care, so I can have that, overflowing cup. So I think the grounding would be really important, like practice grounding exercises. Thank you. Thank you for sharing, Lisa.
Sure, Leah. Thank you so much. Yes, I need a sign. I know, a do not disturb mommy time sign. Thank you.
Yeah, that's how they learn about boundaries and respect. And then they learn it for themselves. Like, oh, wait, I need a time for myself. They really do. They learn that from you. So it's good. Okay, perfect. Who else would like to share? Did I say Sue? Did Sue say she wanted to share? You want to unmute yourself and I can find you?
Hey, Leah.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Still looking for
I
you.
have on a light blue shirt, short hair.
Okay. Okay, maybe I put it in the gallery view. It might be easier to find you. I see Christina has a blue shirt. Okay. Oh, there you are. Okay, I found you. Go ahead.
All right. So, okay. So I called my avatar Cracks in the Foundation. And it isn't directed entirely at me because a lot of the stumbling blocks are associated with my husband being able to get a well-paying job in the new location where we want to go. So that's like the foundation of a house built with stacks of cash. And then, my other thing is, no one knows that I have art. No one knows where to find me. No one knows, how funky and wild and crazy my stuff is. And so those are like shelves in a warehouse with my art just getting dusty. And the other table is, the table where I prepare the art and, package it up really nicely and send it off to someone who has purchased it. And, that's a much happier corner of the, the hypothetical space there. So yeah, cracks in the foundation.
I love what you're talking about with it's kind of almost like you want to show up in this new way that people don't know about. Right?
Yes.
So it's establishing this new part of you that's probably always been there, but you're just like, now you're ready to kind of show up and let people know about it. And I've been there. That's what I was saying. Like before I had kids, I've been an artist all my life, but when I had that breaking point, I was like, it's now time to like share my art and let people know that this is what I do. Right. So I know what that's like. So it's like a new identity of how you want to show up. And then as you show up, it's finding your people. And I didn't know either. Like when I started, I did one event, it was like an outside event, like in a tent, and people will come in and I'm like, who are my people? And you just look and you have these conversations and who resonates with it. And you have these relationships with people and you don't know until you do that. When you show up and see, there's always going to be someone, there's going to be someone that's going to love your work. And then you want more of those people, right? But it's just taking those steps of putting it out there and then really looking at the details of that person of, what are they into? What do they love? Where do they live? Like a lot of my stuff, I do a lot of beachy stuff and I live near the water. So it's like my people are here. So it's a good idea to like, put it out around here. Probably wouldn't do as well in New York, that's a more city life. So that's where you got to like, you find your people as you put it out there. Right. So this is exciting. So it's kind of like stepping into this new you, but it's been there. It's like uncovering it. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a tiny bit of, and it isn't necessarily shown here, but there's a tiny bit of fear in losing my other professional identity, which is an interior designer, which I don't want to lose. I want to keep that. Absolutely.
Hand in hand. That goes hand in hand, putting your art with interior design. That makes sense. I used to do the same thing because I would say art therapy is over here, my art's over here, and I compartmentalized everything. But I was like, no, my art is healing, so it's like they go together. But the same thing with you. You could design a cool space and put your art in and show people, wow, look at how these colors make the room work. Right?
Yeah, I definitely could. I'm not quite there, but I could absolutely do that. And thank you. I appreciate the conversation for sure.
Yay. Thank you, Sue, for showing up. That's
Thanks.
awesome. Beautiful. Who else would like to share? I'll put you on gallery so that I can. Nor says she'd like to share. Okay, let me find you. Oh, there you are. Okay, that helps when you shake your hands about. Okay. It was a little dark, so if you could put it like closer so that we can kind of see a little bit more. Okay, I can see it now. Okay, please tell us about it. Oh, can you unmute? Ask to unmute.
Yes, now you can hear me.
I can hear you now. Yeah, if you
Okay.
could tell us about your drawing. Mhm.
Yes, it's Mr. Too, about Mr. Too much, too little, too scared,
Mhm.
too much stuff going on, moving house, pregnant of my 4th child, building my own business in art. So too many things to juggle, and then I tend to do nothing. It's too much. So then I pause it all and find myself tuning out and just watching dumb television or something like that.
Right, right, which doesn't feed you. I could imagine that's probably not very.
No, it's not very productive, but it's not very healthy also. So yeah, it feels like a burden on my shoulders, too much to juggle, you know? Yeah.
So what we're talking about is just taking a baby step, right? And it's like whatever that baby step that's going to have the biggest ripple effect in your life, because it's going to have the biggest ripple effect for you. It's going to have the ripple effect around you. So it's just looking at what could you do? And I'm just talking maybe 10 minutes a day of checking in with yourself. And it could be drawing about how overwhelmed you feel. And that could be for the first week of I'm so overwhelmed. And this is my drawing about being overwhelmed. And then once you get that out, and you get this like process of self-care and taking that time for yourself, that's gonna, where do I want to go with this 10 minutes? How do I want, because I'm saying the healing must happen before the manifesting has to happen. So if you're
Yes.
overwhelmed, more likely you need that healing work. And then it's moving into, creating that structure so that you can have time to do it. Because you have your hands full. You've got a lot going on.
Yes, I do.
Yes. So take the small baby step, 10, 15 minutes, but you got to commit to that. The same thing with Lisa.
Yes.
I think the same thing her. It's like what you going to commit to is going to, that's that root chakra again, is going to build the foundation so that you can do anything else that you want to do. If you don't have a strong foundation, that's what that root chakra is. We have nothing to build upon, but also because that's that, like what the chakra is, it's like the energy goes up, it's these spinning wheels, right? The energy going up is that sublimating energy. It's actually very healing. So you got to start with your base. That's where you need the most healing. But when you're manifesting, you're bringing in all those ideas down. To get it down to that root chakra, to get it to that reality, you have to have a solid structure for it to get there. So you need to start with your root and then move up of creating that structure for yourself, have that healing for yourself. And then as those desires come, you'll be able to come through to your reality.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense. Thank you. And can you tell me what color the root chakra has on the red?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's not a color that I.
You probably don't like it. Yeah, I didn't like it either. I used to hate it. And I actually went out and bought a red shirt when I was doing the healing. And it was weird. The more that I got used to it, I started decorating my home with the color red. And it was really healing for me.
Yeah, I can imagine. I'm very into color and the meaning of it. So should think of red now.
Yeah, you can wear it. You can eat red things, lots of proteins, things along those lines.
Yes. Thank you very much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you very much for your time.
Awesome. Yay. Okay. I'm just looking at the time here. I do want to see everyone's art. but just because of time goes by really quick, I want you to be able to put your artwork into the Facebook group. And you guys did great. You used the thread. As you can see, there was like over 400 comments on the thread, which was amazing. You guys were loving each other up. But when you keep it there, it makes it so much easier to scroll through. So what you're going to see today is I will show you what the sticker is going to look like. Where's it at? Here it is. Let me share screen. Share. And it's right here. This is what it's going to look. It says day 2 prize, the Art of Healing and Manifesting book. I'm going to give away a few of these. Like I said, I'm going to do the digital version. Tomorrow, I'm going to be giving away the Oracle deck, which is cool. Let's see, stop share. And I also want to put the replay page here, Becca, if you wouldn't mind. She's going to put it in the chat. The replay page, in case you missed tomorrow, I want you to know that there is a replay page. You are getting the emails for that. And then also there's a scheduling link. During these times, I usually do these events like 3 times a year, but I do open up times like if you want to do a deeper dive of either the healing or the manifesting, if you want to get like structure with your business, or if you want to just kind of like know more direction, I do a consultation. It's totally free. It's 30 minutes, but if you could put that scheduling link as well, you're welcome to do that. So the next couple of weeks, I do open up my schedule for that. So if anybody would like to do a little one-on-one chat with me, you can do that. So that is there as well. And I think that's kind of where we're at today. I want everyone to like post their artwork, post your story to go with it, because it makes it more powerful that we can kind of see, what you're working through and how we can support you. If any other questions come up, please let me know. Oh, Mickey says, thanks so much. Grounded by doing art. Yeah, definitely. You can ground yourself by doing art and use the color red. I mean, actually, part of the book is in the root chakra healing section, because remember I tell you each section has root chakra art. For example, this is the root chakra symbol. It's a 4-petaled lotus. You would color this red, right? So that is part of getting grounded. But then there's also exercises, a lot of like mandalas and things like that that you can work on in the root chakra. But yes, do root chakra art. You can use the symbols of the root chakra. It's like the elephant, trees, the earth, getting grounded in that way, putting your feet in the earth, go on a walk barefoot. Sue said, what chakra is blocked for me? So put your story up and put your picture into that thread, which I post about it, because a lot of times I see stuff in the art, right? Like I saw someone yesterday where they just put their face and they had everything around it. But it was, when I saw that in their art, it didn't look grounded because they didn't put their body. And the root chakra is about your body. It's about getting physical, right? It's about taking care of your body too. So when I saw that, I knew they needed root chakra healing. There was someone else that they did the back of their head and they were like looking at something. Like when I was looking at that, I could see right away, I was like, that solar plexus work that they need to work on, because they're not showing up fully in their power, right? So let me see your art at a better image, and then I can tell you which chakra that I feel like would benefit you to work on to strengthen. And tomorrow we are going to be doing more art related to these 2 avatars and that ripple effect that you'll have in the world as you work on these 2. Okay, so I'm really excited about that. Oh, we have someone just entering. Okay. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for showing up today. Again, I can't wait to see what you create. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, and I'll see you tomorrow. You're welcome.
Thanks so much, Leah.
You're welcome, Lisa.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Leah.
You're welcome.